Hello everyone, I'm Matthew and I'm here today to give you a quick and clear introduction to the CowEASY Cloud system. I'll show you how to master the system's operations in no time. Once you sign up as a trial user, we completely understand that it can be quite confusing and overwhelming at first because you're not sure exactly where to start. Don't worry, this video will guide you clearly through the entire system step by step, making it easy to get started. On the left side of the screen, it's divided into Step 1, Step 2, and the Daily Tasks section you complete regularly. Open it. Next, you'll see some basic settings like company information, as well as user permission settings that control who can access what within the system. And this mode it's a single currency system, so you can change the currency setting if needed. If your currency is set to HKD, there's no need to worry about adjusting anything. However, if you would prefer to switch to USD, you have the option to update both the currency code and the display name to match your preference. Actually, on every page of the system, there are detailed video tutorials that explain all of these features step by step, helping users understand how to navigate and customize their settings effectively. There's a helpful reference clip on page operations you can watch later. When you go to the reprint records, you might see some reprints done during data import from Excel files. This helps track changes and understand the process better. You can quickly check upload status right here on this page. Okay, let's go to step 2. Basically, what we all know is that there are two main types of users. The first are newly formed companies who haven't done any audits yet and are just getting started with everything. They're usually brand new companies, less than a year old. The second type is companies that have been operating for some time and have undergone audits. These usually already have their own set of accounting kemubiao. There are slight differences in their modes, especially regarding operations and procedures, which we'll cover shortly in detail. Let me explain with an example how to input the initial data. If a company is new and hasn't had audits before, this step isn't needed because there's no prior balance to carry over. But if the company has been operating for a while and had audits, they'll have their own accounting kemubiao. In that case, the first step is to review that existing kemubiao carefully and make sure all previous balances are correctly reflected. This ensures accurate financial tracking before moving on. It's just the daily operations section. Now let's go back to the accounting mode, just like you see in the middle section here on the screen right now. Because you want to modify your own accounting kemubiao. I'll open the accounting kemubiao. When I tried it before, I noticed some important things to understand before moving on. Industry. Below, different items are shown. Each industry has slight differences. Mainly, it's about choosing the profit and loss statement items. For example, if you sell books, the revenue item on the P&L would be book sales. But if we look at the rest of the balance sheet items and expense items, you'll find they are pretty much quite similar across the board. Now, if you already have your own accounting kemubiao, what you really need to do is basically use that as your guideline going forward. In the drop-down menu, go ahead and open it up, then carefully choose a brand-specific template from the list and apply it for your use. Okay, the main idea is to clear out unnecessary items, but keep some important ones. You see these? They're called control accounts. Every set of books has them to track key transactions and balances. There will be some little by little, as the saying goes. What does control account mean? It refers to those accounting accounts. Accounts receivable, accounts payable, and other various items will always be around. Even if you don't really need them now, leaving them as they are isn't a big deal. But later, if you are planning to use these items or decide to upgrade to a more advanced mode for management and inventory tracking, these items become quite important. So when you are left with just these items, you also have the option to export an Excel sheet, which can make managing this data much easier and more organized. Then if Excel works better for you, you can handle it there. But if not, you can always add a new row right in the interface itself with ease. add and modify based on the different attributes in the first row. These options cover items like current assets and liabilities that everyone around the world will use. For the second and third levels, some companies might require different departments or categories to be set up. You can input those directly here or select them from the options up top to register first before moving on to the next steps. First, properly set up all these items before selecting them. These represent projects from various departments, and if you don't need some, you simply won't see them. They're optional and won't clutter your view. The crucial part is the fourth level, where you enter your own accounting subject list projects. Here you can fully customize and input unique codes, whether in Chinese, English, or both. You're not bound to the default settings, as every organization has different needs, so this flexibility helps accommodate different accounting requirements smoothly. For the country field, users can enter just English or English with specific checks for clarity. You can do this directly on the user-friendly interface or use our Excel export template designed for this. This template is at the bottom of the horizontal tab set up to help you enter data efficiently. Go ahead and open it now. Like I said earlier, it only contains the basic control accounts left to handle. Then here what we actually do is take the system's traffic account from Excel, the very first level we talked about, and carefully put it into Excel. You can select like this. As I mentioned earlier, just enter the fourth layer and keep going step by step. It's simple to follow. You can also access its toggle balance setting right here in the system. Exactly, you can do it all at once inside this Excel file, making the process simpler and more efficient. When you select that, take March 31st of a certain year. I'll show you where to set that up later, so don't worry now. The main point is all data stays secured within this system. Now watch, I'll reselect the item and click here to insert it into our worksheet. Data enters the system like this. So there's already a default setup inside the system that automatically organizes and prepares all the input for further processing. Okay, I've already shown you how to set up the item and currency code properly in the system, making sure everything is ready. This really is the very first step that a completely new user takes. If those items are already imported into the newly set up list, then everything is good. Once setup is done, I can come back here anytime without issues. The opening balance is shown here with items such as wages neatly organized in the list. If you choose to enter your own accounting chart of accounts into the system, it becomes much more flexible and tailored to your needs. You can input amounts directly, and there's an option to select the exact year and month for each entry. This level of detail is crucial because it ensures your records are accurate and helps with tracking financial periods clearly and efficiently. Why the emphasis on the period end date being the 31st? Because this clearly states the period end date, not the start date of the next fiscal year. It keeps things clear. Also, there's an I here. You just mentioned that too, right? If you've previously operated a tax-paying company, this initial term is something you'd already be familiar with, so you can just skip it and move directly to the operations section instead. Here. Inside. There are several main modules, including sales and wholesale, plus purchasing. There's payroll, expenses, and accounting modules too. I'll start by introducing HSBC's automatic entry recording feature, which helps streamline processes and improve accuracy. Sales invoice module. You'll actually be able to see this middle section very clearly showing all the details. From registering customers. You can also create a quote sheet. After finishing the quote, just press a button to convert it directly to an invoice. No need to enter it again. Later on, if the customer's payment gets delayed by about a week or maybe even a month, don't worry. You can still manage and handle all of this easily within the payment module itself. Here. You can also handle returns when customers send products back. You can return the goods. This reduces the total amount you receive, so you end up collecting a bit less overall, but it's still manageable enough. Let's say we go to one of the invoice functions and take a closer look at how the direct input works exactly. You can import and record via Excel. I'll enter it directly. Actually, every input screen has a tutorial video for users to refer to. So here I don't need to go into too much detail. But I can also mention here that this is actually just a blank form right now. Once all the information is filled out. Some buttons here will actually switch back to active once the conditions are met. You see, it's inactive right now simply because this form hasn't been saved just yet. And I also want to say this form can be issued as well. There are 4 types of invoices, or even an overdue notice. They come in various formats such as PDF, Word file, and more to suit your specific needs. After creating this invoice, you can instantly email this invoice through the cloud to your client with no delay. Alright, let's go back. The purchasing module. It has similar functions. Register a supplier. You can create this purchase order. Next. Once the supplier confirms, you can make the purchase order. I want to clarify because some users think that once a purchase order is created, they can immediately receive stock, but that's not correct. It means you've created a purchase order that can directly receive stock, but actually that's not the case. You need to go to this module. Purchase. Receive. Fonction. Can. After successfully receiving goods into the warehouse, you might need to quickly contact the supplier right away to confirm delivery details. You can also handle payments and any returns directly from this section, plus there's an extra feature available to assist with managing your transactions more efficiently. Assuming. This purchase can be paid immediately, no extra steps needed. If there's an installment plan, you can handle it right here. For example, you might go to a jewelry store. Jewelry. Go buy some materials. This is a purchase raw material record. But you don't need to mention a specific period. So this can be handled right here. Next we go to payroll or expenses. Actually, the process is pretty much the same as before. This time it's about registering employees or suppliers. The suppliers and the suppliers for purchasing just now are different. Now, when we talk about suppliers under expenses, these might include landlords for rent payments, electricity bills, and possibly some other utility services that are essential for running the business smoothly. Or CLP power. For manufacturers like Hong Kong Electric, the employees we mean are your own company staff, of course. Employees, and then here, it's basically calculating payroll and expenses. At the same time, it also helps you handle MPF calculations. It might not always be monthly. Payroll or expense payments can be efficiently managed right here, whether it's for this current month, the next month, or even up to 2 months ahead, and all related expenses can be handled smoothly and accordingly to your schedule and needs. Of course, if it's payroll, it can also be processed here at the beginning of next month. Right below here, you'll see an instant expense option for quick payments. You don't need an installment plan, you can just pay instantly if it's easier. Paying, for example, might mean going nearby. Buying some stationery is a company expense, and the good thing is you can handle instant payments right here easily without any hassle. Next, let's talk about a very useful feature that users can really take advantage of when they need to handle certain tasks efficiently. Have recorded an employee. Full year. Of. After recording salary. This useful feature automatically generates the annual IR56B forms that are required for filing Hong Kong tax returns each year. Of course, there are others too. Type of table. So it saves user. You don't need to fill out this form. Just need print it out. Then submit it to Hong Kong's tax office. Okay. Go to accounting module. As mentioned before. First, set up your accounting 嘅目標here. There are exactly 4 main functions listed right here. The very first option here allows you to directly use your bank statement for easier input. Enter directly. Please have your bank statement ready and open to the correct page now. You can enter each item one by one. This is the first manual processing method. Second, users can each month go to your own bank. Online banking. Download the related CSV file, an Excel-like format. Then you can import it. Saves labor and inputting time. The third type actually involves users' online banking activity, where the malware stealthily downloads information without any visible signs. The monthly bank statement in PDF format, or sometimes even the physical paper version, can be used for this process. Users, every month, is charged by the bank. Bank statement emails. You can also use this handy feature to easily upload your statement emails directly into our system. Scan. Scanned into a PDF file. Then upload it here in this section. So both can be done via PDF. Instantly generate all the related accounting records you need. Also these directors, basically Daifu Daishu means when the company's owner or director goes out and makes payments or collects money on behalf of the company. Receipts from client meals or taxi fares getting home safely. Actually, this is pretty common for most small to medium businesses, and you can enter it directly here. If some clients might pay cash directly to the company, or sometimes the agent collects the money on behalf of the company, and whatever the case, you can also handle all of that right here within this system very easily. If needed, you can easily handle this through us without any hassle. There are 2 apps you can download from Google Play or the App Store, easy and quick to access. To scan. ET. It uses AI to scan and read your document, convert it into accurate accounting vouchers, and upload them directly to your account without any manual entry. Next to it is a function similar to the directors but for employees. The input process is the same, you just choose the employee account instead. This lets you sync payments the company makes or receives for employees, managing these transactions easily and efficiently, just like with director accounts. And finally, here we have the accounting voucher itself. Usually, if you have some accounting knowledge, you can go ahead and directly enter the debit and credit entries right here to automatically generate the accounting vouchers without needing any extra steps. Of course, these accounting vouchers can also be used to input all of the company's accounts. Actually, if you don't use this feature, before, whether it was through bank statements, director records, or information from staff, these 3 sources actually accounted for over 90% of the company's daily record entries, making them extremely important. So the 4th part mainly deals with fixed asset depreciation for the company, which isn't something that happens all the time, but when it does, these records can also be entered here to keep everything up to date accurately. All right. Here at this, the automatic import feature for HSBC bank records is in this function. And first I want to say, we don't need to enter. user. In the HSBC online banking account. Actually, what looks complex becomes clearer. You just need one setup. Just HSBC Bank is enough. Record every day. Export records. You can use a sync tool that you set up in either Google Drive or OneDrive so your files update automatically. Through an Excel file. So all we really need now is your permission to access that Excel file and retrieve these specific records for you. Help you. Please transfer the amount into the account you've specified. Of accounting subjects. That's it. No manual work, it happens automatically every day. Export. Related bank records. Actually, only these 3 steps are needed. You can watch related videos for these 3 steps later. It's super simple and only needs to be done once. Then it can automatically import every day. Okay, before we go any further, let me first take a moment to talk about the Excel import feature for documents. In this system, all modules across the entire platform, all can be done through Excel. For imports and exports, you don't have to use the original input interface anymore. The system now offers more flexible options. Of course, any system is... You need to export. Blank Excel templates are ready for different modules. Then, you can enter data into Excel. Or you can copy and paste some info into this Excel sheet. Then go back to the Excel sheet, and once inside, it's like an entry point for every record you hold, acting as a centralized hub for your data. Using Excel definitely makes things more convenient and efficient. If you already have some data saved in another Excel file, you can simply copy it here with ease. Then, once you're back in Excel, I'd like to talk about one of the modules listed below, which offers great features and insights. Look to the right, and you'll find modules with detailed analyses and full financial reports ready for review. Just click once to open it, and inside, the reports give you real-time options to easily check your company's detailed business analysis and updated financial status whenever you want. Lastly, we actually have some upgradable modules. They're actually tailored, ordered based on individual needs. As for these modules, a brief intro from speakers. Users can also check out this video to watch related videos. Lastly, if users encounter any issues while using it, you can reach us anytime via WhatsApp or the online button at the bottom right. During office hours, we have a dedicated support team, ready to answer any questions instantly. Thanks everyone for sharing.